Hello everyone. Okay, today I'm going to solve the homework which I gave in my last class. So the question is in front of you. I have checked your homeworks and you all have done this question more or less correctly. Even then, I want to just go through it again so that those who are confused they can just listen to this class and they may get more clarity on this particular method of calculating purchase consideration. Question number 2, here we have to calculate purchase consideration using net payment method. Okay, so what is net payment method? Under this method we have to calculate uh, shares or any other forms of payments made to the shareholder of the transferor company. So we have to know who is transferor company and who is transferee company. That I have already explained in my previous class, so there should not be any confusion. Now, shareholder means we will consider equity shareholders and preference shareholders. Okay. Now, in this question, uh, A Limited, we have two companies. Okay, A Limited and B Limited. A Limited is transferee company because A Limited is taking over the B Limited. So B Limited will be liquidated and we will call B Limited a transferor company uh, while calculating or while solving various problems of amalgamation. Now we have to see uh, equity shareholders and preference shareholders of B Limited, what they are getting from A Limited. So point number 1 talks about some kind of they are here. If you have 8 shares in B Limited, then you will get 6 preference shares in A Limited. Okay, new company. In new company, you will get 6 preference shares only of rupees 100 each when you have 8 preference shares of transferor company, which is uh, B Limited, right? So this point we have to consider while calculating purchase consideration because it talks about preference share, right? So I told you preference share and equity shares payment will be considered for calculating purchase consideration under net payment method. So now how to calculate, right? How much shares will preference shareholders of B Limited will get. Now to calculate this we have to first find out how many preference shareholders are there in the B Limited. Okay, here you see 1000 preference shares of rupees 100 each, right? So it means total amount is like 1 lakh, right? And there are 1000 preference shares, so simply divide 1000 by 8. Okay, and that you have to multiply by 6 and you will get uh, value of number of preference shares that will be issued to like preference shares of the B Limited, that you will get. Check it here. Now you can see it here. uh, Total number of preference shares issued will be 1000 divided by 8, right? Then it is multiplied by 6 and now they are getting 750 preference shares will be issued to the 1000 preference shares of the B Limited, and value of each preference share in B Limited A Limited is rupees 100. So total value of new preference share will be 750 into 100, which is 75,000, right? So let's see point number 2. Point number 2 talks about to issue mortgage debenture at rupees 96 in lieu of debenture in B Limited, which is to be redeemed at a premium of 20%. Okay, this point talks about debenture holders of B Limited. So how debenture holders of B Limited will be discharged. So this is talking about that thing, and right now we don't need it because we are interested in payments of equity and preference shareholder. Okay, we are not interested in, we don't need discharge related with the debenture holders. Okay, how they are settled, that thing we don't consider under this method. So we have to ignore point number 2 in this calculation. So let's go to point number 3. In point number 3, to pay rupees 25 in cash to each equity shareholder in B Limited. Okay, if you have one equity shareholder, then how much cash you will get? Rupees 25. So how many equity shareholders are there in B Limited? There are 2000 equity shares, right? So total cash payment will be 2000 into rupees 25, which is 50,000, right? Here it is written 50,000. So equity shareholders of B Limited will get cash payment of 50,000. Now second part, B Limited shareholders will get 5 equity share of rupees 100 each, and value of that equity share in the market is rupees 120. Okay, now they will get 5 equity shares having market value of rupees 120 in exchange for every 4 equity share held in B Limited. So same method as in the case of preference share will be applied. So first we have to find out how many equity shareholders are there in B Limited. I can see 2000, right? First divide 2000 by 4, and then you have to multiply that to 5. Okay, you will get 5, and then multiply that with the 120, because we have to record equity shares value whichever is higher, right? So market value is higher than book value, therefore we have to take 120 as a value of each equity share. In that case we will get 2000 divided by 4 into 5, 2500 new equity shares will be issued to the equity shareholder of the B Limited. And if we try to get the total value, then 2500 into 120 will be 3 lakh, and we don't have point number 4, so we got payment made to the equity and preference shareholder, and total amount, if we calculate 3 lakh plus 5 lakh plus 75,000, then we are getting 4,25,000. So this is purchase consideration. Okay, we have solved this equation. And what purchase consideration means? Purchase consideration means when one company acquires another company, then there is a payment, right? When you buy something from the market, you should make some payment. That payment is called purchase consideration. Okay, so purchase consideration, when you are using net payment method, it should be calculated in this manner. Here one thing you make note is, I have written it A. Okay, payment to the equity, payment to the shareholder. It should be B, because A is already mentioned above, so it should be B. Here I have written it incorrectly. So while copying it, make sure that you copy it in the right manner. Okay.